Lisa's wedding is going to be at a pretty ritzy place, so don't try showing up in some cheap-looking dress or anything, okay?
All right.
I'm a little worried, though, because you always seem to wear clothing that is kind of outdated, if you know what I mean.
You think so? It'll be okay, though, because I'm borrowing a cute black and blue dress from one of my friends.
Well, then I shouldn't have to worry after all.
About how many people are going to be showing up to the wedding?
There will be about 80 people that I invited.
That many people? Holy crap!
Insane, right? Seems I have a lot of people that want to come to see me in my beautiful dress.
Are there going to be a lot of people from high school joining?
A ton! People from the soccer team will be coming, some teachers will come, and I'll even have the guys from the wrestling team a couple years ago show up.
I see. Looks like everyone knows about your upcoming wedding.
I guess you can say I'm a pretty popular gal, huh?
Absolutely.
It'd be great if you started to cheer up a bit like old times.
Yeah. By the way, when I looked at the invitation I received, the groom's name wasn't written on it. Who is he and where did you guys meet?
He was a friend of one of my friends, I think.
That's nice. You guys are the same age then?
He's 2 years older than me.
Oh, so you're into older men then, huh?
Actually, I think you might know who he is.
Who is he?
You'll find out at the wedding. You'll be very surprised.
Don't tell me he is one of the upperclassmen from high school.
Not at all. He has a lot of great things going for him, but I feel like I could go on and on bragging about him.
I see. Then I'm looking forward to finding out who he is.
We'll even be moving into a house on Venice Beach after the wedding.
Seriously? That's awesome.
Well, he is a pretty wealthy man after all, so it's only natural that he buys a house in such a privileged part of LA.
He must work for a very large company, huh?
Yes, ma'am. And he said that I won't even need to spend a penny when I'm with him.
I'm jealous.
I feel bad bragging about all this in front of you, though. I mean, your ex-husband ran away from you a few years ago. I'll help you out this time and make sure to toss the bouquet to you after we marry. Then you'll have a second chance.
You don't have to do that. You'll embarrass me.
Everyone there will be really kind, so there's no point in getting embarrassed. I'll be the main focus of the wedding, so you better let me give you that bouquet.
But I don't think I'm good enough to be a part of the bouquet toss.
What are you talking about? I want you to find another man and become happy again. Will you join? Please?
Well, if you say so.
When you get the bouquet, you're going to have to come on stage and say a few words. So I'd start thinking of what you'll say.
I'll say something about you both living happily ever after with one another, okay?
Thank you. Sounds like you already know the right things to say.
Well, you've been saying you want to see me happy, so why not share that happiness with one another?
Although, I am a little worried you may say something hurtful.
I won't!
Then please make sure to wish for our happiness. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Same here. I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Lisa, and I'm 28 years old. Right now, I'm working for a law firm as a lawyer's assistant. A few years ago, well, 2 to be exact, my husband and I got a divorce and never ever talked to one another again. I was hoping to try and stop us from falling apart, but it seemed my husband had other things on his mind. After all the pain had started to tear my heart apart, Hannah was there to make sure I would be okay. However, when I went to Hannah's wedding the next day, I learned something that I never would have wanted to know.
My fiancé turned out to be the man that threw you in the trash 2 years ago. This has to be one of the best surprises you've ever experienced, huh?
Why? Why was Ben the man you decided to marry?
The way your mouth dropped to the floor as tears ran down your face was hilarious. I hope one of the cameramen was able to get a good shot of that.
What's wrong with you?
Having the gal that lost her husband to me receive the bouquet. Oh, that just made me want to burst out in laughter. You looked so destroyed. Not even a word slipped out of your mouth.
What makes you think doing something so reckless as this is okay?
There's nothing wrong with it. He just happened to fall in love with me, and I wanted to make sure you knew that. You have to understand that there's nothing you could have done.
And I thought you were my friend.
Oh, come on. This isn't elementary school.
But I trusted you. You helped me with everything after my divorce from Ben and made it seem like you really cared for me.
It's because of all the things you told me about Ben that I was able to become his girlfriend shortly after. Not only am I super lucky to have had you tell me that, but it helped seal the deal for Ben and I. We both got to bond over talking about how awful you really are.
Were you guys already interested in each other before the divorce?
Me.
How could you do that to me?
Well, I just happened to really like him, and soon things started to grow from there. And I have to say, I don't feel bad at all for this. Ben was really happy to see that he could finally be free of living in a rundown house with you. And so he asked me to stay with him after you guys broke up.
What do you mean by rundown house?
Seems that Ben never told you about how in debt your family and you are.
From back when I was a kid?
That's right. Back when you were still a baby, your parents borrowed a lot of money.
You say that like it's a bad thing, when in reality, my dad had to take out a loan to help his business.
But even so, that shows how poor your family is. That must be why in high school, you only ever wore really old and bland clothing. It was probably all from the Salvation Army or something.
That has nothing to do with my family, though. And why do you know all about my family?
Back in high school, when we were going on that huge field trip to Disneyland, you weren't able to come along. So I asked my mom when I got home from school that day.
And what did your mom end up saying about us?
She said that your dad wasn't working a normal job, so you guys didn't have any money and had to rely on borrowing it all.
You both talked about that?
What? Are you going to get mad at my parents? These were all just facts that she told me.
Yeah, but...
So I told Ben all about that stuff. He told me that he didn't want to live in a family that has to always be in debt, and that having kids with you would only make things worse.
That jerk! Why do you guys think that us having borrowed some money means we are poor?
I think the thing that really upset him was that you never told him about your family's money problem.
Well, it's not like my family is in debt anymore. And we weren't that deep into borrowing money anyways. We still had money to keep our family in good shape.
Well, maybe to you didn't feel that embarrassed, but to others, your family was definitely poor. You were used to living with such little value, but to those of us looking from the outside, we knew just how empty your parents' wallets were.
You still don't even know what was going on with us then. So don't try and make quick judgments about my family and me.
You knew how hard life was in that house. That's the whole reason why you went after Ben and his money.
Don't say crap like that to me.
Well, it's true. But I guess it doesn't matter how you live now. From today onwards, I'll be living as Ben's new and improved housewife. And we are about to have a luxurious dinner together. So go ahead and cook up that package of ramen in the back of your cupboard and enjoy it by yourself. Ha! Both Ben, his parents, my parents, and I are all trying to get our marriage certificate, but it doesn't seem to be going through. What's going on? What have you done?
Well, Ben and I haven't truly divorced yet.
Wait, what?
I never said that we were legally divorced yet, right? On the day you came over to help me recover from everything with Ben, you saw that the papers were still sitting on my desk, right? I never ended up handing those in, because I thought there was still hope of us turning things around.
about? Hurry up and hand those in.
Until I get a chance to talk with Ben again, it's not happening.
Everyone is with us trying to get this stuff taken care of before going out to dinner. Why did you never tell me this before the wedding?
The fact that you guys hide your relationship from me should tell you everything.
But Ben told me that you and him had already divorced and everything. Why would I have a reason to not believe him?
Well, just falling blindly into his words like that is on you.
So for the past 2 years, you've been holding on to those papers?
Like I said, I wanted to believe that during that time, Ben would come back to me and we could get back together. So I held off on making the divorce final.
What kind of bullcrap is that? He was never coming back to you. So hurry up and turn those papers in now that you know that.
You're right. Understood. But before I do that, tell Ben that I want to talk with him. It looks like he blocked me, so I can't get in touch with him. Liz, hurry up and turn in those dang papers, okay? So after 2 years of not talking to one another, that's the first thing you're going to say to me?
Well, it's not like either of us care about how you feel.
Is that really how you feel?
Of course it is.
Ben, what have you been up to for the past 2 years? This is getting really old really fast, Liz. Both Hannah and I have been trying to live a happy life together is all.
Exactly. Unlike you, who only came after my Ben for his money and nothing else, I'm here showing him all the love and attention he deserves.
Wrong.
No, I think I'm right.
I think if anything, Ben was only into me for my money. Don't start that with me. Now get to it and hand those papers in already. I worried about our love for the past 2 years, and all you did was move on to one of my friends?
Scary.
But it's whatever. I get that you don't love me anymore. So I'll make sure these papers get to the city office. Hurry up, Liz! I am. But just to let you know, I'm taking you to court. I can plead my case and I have a good chance at a settlement. What?
Why are you doing that?
Because you two are malicious. And I now know that you two have been dating each other while Ben and I have still been legally married. That means our finances were also still tied while you two were out enjoying yourselves behind my back. Do you understand why that's a problem? Wait. The whole reason we started dating was because we thought you handed all of that in.
That's absolutely right. It's your fault for not telling us about keeping those papers with you.
I think you told me that you guys were already going out together before Ben and I ever filled out the paperwork, right? Liz, listen. Hannah and I just had a huge wedding, so we barely have the money to pay you.
Can you please stop trying to take us to court?
Really? Do you think that this is all just a joke? I get that you're upset right now, but come on, Liz. I'm a lawyer.
Huh?
So I can't really turn a blind eye when there's a legal issue and someone is being mistreated. Especially when that someone is me. Liz, you only work at a law firm as an assistant. Wrong. When you first ran away from me, I went ahead and used my time alone to finish up my studies to become a lawyer myself. Just last year, I passed the tests I needed to get my credentials. And now, here we are. I see.
So in other words, you'll be the one writing all the paperwork for the court settlement?
That's right.
Liz, I'm really sorry about everything that has happened between us these past few days.
Why have you decided to apologize now?
Well, this was all Ben's fault for not making sure to tell you that he really didn't love you anymore, right? So he should be the only person that needs to pay you anything.
But you knew about everything that was going on between us 2 years ago, and still went ahead and took advantage of the situation to be with him.
Well, I just happened to want to be with him more than support you, is all.
What the hell, Hannah? Why are you throwing me under the bus now?
Because you tricked me! Since you couldn't wait until you were fully divorced to love me, I'll have to pay a settlement.
But you're the one that treated Liz like crap as well for being poor. I know that the two of you are pretty busy trying to blame one another, but I'll have the settlement sent to you in the next week or so.
Wait! Liz!
Let's all calm down and have a longer chat about this. You'll only want to try and take advantage of me by doing that.
But you're fine with suing one of your best friends after she just got married?
My friend dating my husband and never telling me is much worse.
Let's just talk about this!
Right after we finished messaging each other, it seems that both Hannah and Ben got into a huge fight at the city hall and broke up. I turned in the divorce papers after hearing that, and I feel like I can finally move on with my life. They, on the other hand, are in a mountain of debt. Hannah was unfortunately not able to get her old job back, as they hired someone much better than her into the position, and was left to finding odd jobs to try and pay me. She has even turned to asking for money on the street, looking as though she really knew how to live the life of a homeless person. Ben continued on with his work, even asking his boss for overtime so that he could make the money to not only pay me back, but also pay for that new house he had bought in anticipation of living with Hannah. I'd suppose he'll be working those 80-hour weeks for the next year or two trying to keep himself from drowning in debt. I was lucky enough to later bond with one of Hannah's friends from high school, who happened to work in the same office as me. After hearing my story, and about how Liz and Ben both humiliated me at their wedding, we started to become serious and look towards a future as a family. Just like Liz said, catching that bouquet must have really allowed me to find new happiness in a new man. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.